Yo, what up, everybody? It's your homeboy Heavy Metal Lifestyle with another kind of episode of the Pop Culture 2 to 3 podcast and channel. But before we get into this next conversation, please smash that like and subscribe button at the bottom. We trying to be everywhere like space, baby. We trying to be around like the ground. Look, I heard somebody say that. I thought it was cool, so I thought I was going to use it, mix it up a little bit. But look, today's conversation, we kind of doing a Q&A. And the idea of this conversation, I had the home. Don't you know you got a homeboy that keep asking you about this and that, about certain guns, certain things, and I was like, man, look, I know what I know, and what I don't know, I go ask somebody. So that's kind of how this all played out. So the homeboy 313 Rod was asked me about precision rifle. Just a pain in my butt. Asked me about this. We think I should do it here. We asked some of the other homies we watching YouTubes, and we kind of talk about it. I was like, man, I don't really know nothing about precision rifles. I know what I know about, AR-15s and this and this. You know what we do. You know how we get down. So precision rifle is kind of out my wheelhouse. So I said, you know what? Let's do this. Let's do a Q&A. Let's record it and post it on the podcast because somebody else may have some conversations or may have some questions or don't know where to start or maybe, this could help somebody else out because it's going to definitely help you out. So he was cool with it. So I reached out to Rhett. Now, Rhett, this is a backstory. I had Rhett on in the new studio. So it's like maybe 2 years ago, episode maybe 23 or something like that. So Rhett came on. He shoot precision rifles. So he brought some toys out. Me and Bear interviewed him. And, we posted it and it was cool. So fast forwarded, Rod 313 want to do precision rifle. I said, listen, I got somebody we can talk to. Let's talk to Rhett and let's post it. Let's do this. So that's my whole idea. So like I said, Rhett shoot precision rifles. He shoot rimfire. So he competes with these big boy guns. And I just thought it was cool for us to ask questions, get some feedback. What do you think? Ideas? What about this? All this information out there. You know what I'm saying? What's real? What's fake? Yada, yada, yada. So, when somebody's passionate about something, as far as in our industry, in our culture, they don't gatekeep. They share all the information. They give you what the do's and don'ts and what they did, what you should do. And I really respect, and because he shoot competition and he run with it and he wins matches. So for me, I know that he knows what he's doing. So when he says something, I kind of take it as law, right? So that's kind of how this field was going with this conversation. So I hope everybody loves this conversation. So it's not really an interview piece. It's more like a Q&A. But anyways, like I said, please hit that like and subscribe button at the bottom. I'm gonna post a picture of the video, or the link to the video somewhere up in here. You'll see it. I got it. I'm gonna straighten it out, so you'll see it. Like the first interview with me and Rhett. But anyways, let's jump into the interview with me, Rhett, and 313 Rod. It's gonna be a good one. So sit back and relax. Pay attention. Yo, yo, yo. Everybody out
What
here?
up?
Good.
Yeah,
What's
I'm
going
here.
on?
Okay. It's 313 Ride debut on the Pop Culture 2 to 3 podcast. I wish I had some claps and all that good stuff, but I ain't got all that. So
It's
listen,
all
man.
right.
Red, we got you on here. I know you've been a busy man. I've been calling, texting, and and it kind of fell off in the
Oh
beginning.
yeah.
Then my homeboy right here was asking me a million questions about chassis, this, and the third. I said, man, every time you ask me, we want to get Red on here, but and then I don't know nothing about precision rifles as far as it goes to what chassis to get, where to spend the money, how to spend the money. And I was telling him what you had told us before back in the day. Like if you buy a chassis, like you got to double up or double down on the glass. But you got companies out here that make like combination package where you can get the gun, you can get the chassis, the rifle, and the action and the glass for a certain amount of money. So we just on here to ask you some questions, kind of Q&A, pick your brain about some things. So Rod, you want to be the first? I'm gonna give you the first question to ask Sir Rhett right here.
Yeah, so like Kevin said, I keep asking about precision rifles, and I'm a YouTube guy, so I go on YouTube, and of course, I'm just get hit with a whole bunch of information.
You're gonna get a
Talking to
lot
people,
on YouTube.
yeah, talking to people at gun stores, and then when you talk to people at gun stores, you got to take everything verbatim because they all are Daniel Defense guys. And they're like, get a Daniel Defense, and I'm like, then I see MPA, and I look at the price of Daniel Defense. I look at the price of MPA, and I'm just like, it seems like MPA is heavier in the game. As far as I could be wrong, as far as precision rifles go, I'm just all over the place.
No, I get it. It's
Do
like drinking water out of a fire hose, right? Especially when you get into that YouTube wormhole, which, to be honest with you, that's how I got started. I mean, honestly, YouTube, watching videos, and I had no clue where to turn. I got so much misinformation, and there was so much information out there, so many different companies, and I went everywhere. I went all over the place, right? But you know, in this game, especially, it depends on how serious you want to get. Like what I do competition shooting. I mean, I'm strictly competition shooting. So in the competition game, there's really only a few options, or a handful of options that will kind of take you to that top level of the game. And but not to not knock Daniel Defense at all whatsoever. Daniel Defense makes a great rifle, but it serves a purpose. And if you want to do long range shooting just for fun, then it's a great rifle. There's nothing wrong with it. But at the same time, the way I did it, when I got into it, I wanted to keep on going. Right. I mean, once you get into it, it's like a drug. It was like, give me more, give me more, give me more. And next thing
right.
I know, I'm now I eat, sleep, and breathe it all the time. That's all I do. And I compete at 20, 30 matches a year, maybe more. I think last year, between PRS, NRL, and I'd say probably 30 matches last year. Um, I shot 6 pro matches, pro series matches, which are kind of spread out. They're all over the country. A bunch of regional matches, and then I also shoot rimfire too, which is high precision rimfire, which is kind of like it's almost the exact same thing. I mean, you can probably see in the background there all the rifles. So
I'm wondering which one's for sale.
I know all of these are brand new. These are all new for this upcoming season. So there's nothing for sale here.
So
Okay.
so 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 let's do this. So let's kind of like start out. If you was kind of so Rodney's probably kind
Starting
of
out,
like a novice to it, so he's not probably gonna get into the competition world.
sure.
But somebody starting out a
Oh, you
brand new
never know.
shooter, you got fun. I mean, you got some fundamental things that you can do, right? What matters most
Sure.
that when it comes to like purchasing a set, getting a setup, like what matters most, and kind of like take us through that setup.
Um, First you got to pick a caliber, right? I mean, caliber is key. Um, I shoot 2 different calibers for centerfire. I shoot a 6 BR and then a 6.5 Creedmoor, which is kind of everybody's got a 6.5 Creedmoor, right? So it's kind of, and 6.5 Creedmoor was kind of when long range shooting for PRS for what I do started, 6.5 was kind of the hot cartridge to shoot. Almost everybody shot a 6.5 Creedmoor. And then people started switching to the 6 Creedmoor, and then there's so many different variants, a lot of 6 millimeter variants because of the recoil mitigation. But now, as the sport is progressing and people are getting better and better, 6.5 Creedmoor is starting to make a little bit of a comeback because it the BC, the ballistic coefficient of the bullet, is way higher, and you got a little bit more weight in the bullet too compared to a 6
It
millimeter.
hasn't.
So you can,
So it's coming back. From my understanding, it hasn't been out that long. It came out like in '08, right, or something like that, somewhere around that
what, the
time.
Creed 6.5 Creedmoor?
Uh,
Yeah, 6.5 Creedmoor in itself is a newer cartridge,
Which
but
one? So,
in
I
the
don't know.
it,
I don't know how much time we got, but and I want to ask the questions as we go on. So,
sure,
like,
sure.
I'm torn between 308, 6.5. I'm looking at the cost. So, the way it started was
Do you
uh,
reload your own ammo, or are you shooting straight factory ammo?
straight factory ammo. And the way it
Okay,
started was the way I figured out that I liked it was I bought a little bolt action 22. and I went to the
Yep.
outdoor range. We got there at 8:30. We were leaving at 4 o'clock, and I wasn't ready to go yet. And I was just like, man, I love
Wow.
it. Yeah, I loved it. I love the science of it, figuring it out. You know what I mean? And
Sure.
and I'm more
Well,
of a buy once,
this
cry once.
the
Yeah,
rifle on the wall here, that's a
yeah.
22, believe it or not.
Okay.
So,
See, yeah, that's
yeah,
nice. Yeah. So, I'm like, do I go 308? But then when I talk to people, they're like, well, 308 is almost the same price as 6.5 Creedmoor. I don't know about that because I had a 308, AR-10 at one time. I had a Scar. And I
sure.
don't remember 308 costing that much. Maybe it did. I just don't remember. But, so I'm
I
torn
would,
between.
if you're gonna do precision, I would definitely go 6.5 over 308 all day long,
Okay.
without a doubt. Not even a
Okay.
question in my mind. There
Okay.
are guys who shoot 308, in my sport, but as far as bullet selection and ammo out there, there's just as much 308 ammo as there is 6.5 ammo out there, and I'll argue that there's more 6.5 ammo than there is 308 ammo out there. If
Oh,
you want,
wow.
I mean, to be honest with you, you get Hornady ELD match ammo in a
Mm,
6.5 Creedmoor. You could show up with a Masterpiece Arms PMR Pro 2 and factory ammo and shoot and win a match, no problem,
really? Okay.
without a doubt.
So
Yeah, I
so
mean that's a great combination.
so 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 if he's not doing matches, just take it like he's just going out there with the fellas, and we out there shooting 600 or 400 or 500. When it comes to
Sure,
price as far as ammo, so you would say you would, because of the ballistic advantages you get with a 6.5 Creedmoor, you would prefer that over 308.
all day, every
Okay.
day.
It's the
Okay.
Yep.
recoil too, from what I'm hearing too.
The recoil, the 308's got a little bit more recoil, but if you get a good
Okay.
muzzle brake, it's not going to be. You'll definitely feel the difference, but not to where it's if you're just having fun, it's not going to be that big of a deal. Like when I'm shooting 300-400 rounds in a 2-day span. That's where it really starts to affect you, right? So recoil mitigation is huge in my form of shooting. So
Yeah.
I try to keep recoil as little as possible.
Okay.
I mean, that's the name of the game. So, but if you're just going to be, it, I would, there's a lot of options out there. I mean, depending on your budget, you could go a few different routes if you just want a good precision rifle that's going to shoot good. Most of the chassis manufacturers out there today make a chassis for pretty much every action out there, right? The two biggest players in the game are MDT, yep, and then Masterpiece Arms by bar none. Well,
Hold
then
on. I'm
there's a
sorry.
couple of others that are close to third and fourth, but
You see that, Rob? I'm sorry.
Yeah.
yeah, that's MDT. Yep. So the way they actually um, for what I do, the PRS just released their kind of numbers about who uses what in the sport, and MDT um, is the number one chassis
Oh,
So
in
really?
which
in
one you got, the
PRS.
ACC Elite chassis, or like for
No, I don't use MD. I have I don't know if you can see it, the black chassis down at the bottom here on the wall.
mm-hmm.
That's an MDT chassis. That's an XRS, but that's my son's rifle.
Okay.
But I shoot Masterpiece Arms chassis. So the brown gun, I can't. Yeah, the brown gun
Okay.
right here on the wall. That's a
Uh-huh.
Masterpiece Arms. And then
22.
the rifle behind me. That's also a Masterpiece Arms chassis. So
Okay.
I strictly use Masterpiece Arms. I've had 20 different, well, maybe not 20. I don't know, 15 different over the years Masterpiece Arms chassis. And
Yeah,
Hello,
they're
hello.
nice. Yeah, I'm here. I can hear you.
Oh, that's hold on. Let me see. So what'd you say? You had pause for a second. You froze. Go ahead. Say it again.
all right, are we good now?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I've had, I don't know, say 15 Masterpiece Arms chassis over the years. And none of them have ever let me down. They're perfect.
Did you ever have an MDT?
I do. I had the one. I've had a
Oh
few
yeah, you did
MDTs.
say
That's
yeah.
actually the one on the wall is an MDT. I've got actually my hunting rifle is in an MDT chassis. And I've had other MDT chassis in the past, but it's kind of personal preference, really. There's no. Hold on. Why is my Wi-Fi?
So
Yeah.
I think
so
I
when you
paused my.
yeah. So
Go
when
ahead.
you're on the
Sorry.
Masterpiece Arms website, you got like competition chassis, general purpose chassis, hunting chassis. So which one would you say you should start with? Like, is that just say go straight general purpose and just start building from
No,
there?
go to competition. Competition chassis.
Yeah, I
If
saw
it, I
the
mean,
Pro 2. What's the
yeah.
Pro 2?
So this the Pro 2 is what's on the bench right here. That's a Matrix Pro. That's a
Yeah,
Matrix Pro 2.
yeah.
And then the one up on the wall is the Vanquish. So
Mhm,
they're essentially the exact same chassis, except
mhm.
that the fore end is a little skinnier on the Vanquish compared to the Matrix 2.
What about
So
the?
the
Would you say, because I'm seeing like I notice like guys like yourself, you like that non-foldable butt stock. Is there an advantage or disadvantage to having that? Because from what I'm hearing, if you got to clean the gun, you gotta. It's good to have the folding one because you don't have to take the cheek well down or anything like that. But then I think on the Pro 2, you don't have to. But so it makes me just kind of wonder what's the advantage and disadvantage of having a folding stock versus a non-folding butt stock.
Um, for competition use, I want the buttstock as solid as it'll possibly get.
Okay.
I don't want every foldable stock I've ever been behind. There's always a little bit of movement, a little bit of slop. The tolerance stack up just doesn't allow it, right? I mean, there's always going to be a tiny little bit of movement in the back.
Okay.
I want something that's absolutely rock solid. And as far as the cleaning situation goes, there's pulling the cheek piece off is not that big of a deal. And then
Okay.
there's actually a company that makes like they call it the speed nut, and I've got it on this one behind me. You press a button and it pulls right off.
Okay. All right. And then barrel thickness. That one at the top looks like it's got a really heavy duty
Both
barrel. The pull or
Yeah.
the both.
Well, both of these rifles have 1.25 inch straight bull barrels. They're straight
Okay.
from end to end,
Okay.
which
So
you do not need. That's a personal preference thing.
so what about action? So because you went with chassis, so now if he's putting it together, like what kind of action to go?
Do
Because
you do all MPA with the actions or
No, no. So my both of my rifles are completely custom. I mean, I
okay.
mean, all my rifles are pretty much completely custom. So, I have had the Masterpiece arms. I guess you could say they're factory action.
Hmm.
It's changed over the years. They
Yeah.
used to use, so that's what I use right now is a Lone Peak Arms Fusion action. That's a fully custom action, where you're piecing it all together yourself. So, I mean, I have the luxury also too of being able to do all my own machining too. So, um, I it's like Legos for me, right? I buy one piece and then I buy another piece, another piece, another piece. And
Mm.
then as far as doing all my chambering and all my machining on my barrels, because I go through 2 to 3 barrels a season. Um, I just do it myself.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. A
So,
friend of mine was
but
telling
if
me
you're
about
just if you're just getting into the game,
hmm
I would go masterpiece over. Nothing wrong with Daniel Defense, but I would go Masterpiece Arms, a PMR Pro rifle. It's one stop shop. You can pick your chassis. You can. I think they have 3 different options. You can get it with their ESR chassis, the Vanquish, or the Matrix. And I think the price point's around $3,000, and that's out the door. That's everything.
yeah.
That's chassis, barrel, action, everything. And then they use an American. It's their own version of it, but it's an American rifle company, coup de grace action, which is a nice action. There's nothing wrong with it.
Yeah, I think I did hear that's a newer action that they're using, right? The coup de grace. I know they had a newer.
Well, it's been around about 2.5 years or so, 2 years, but it's super innovative. It's got a lot of a lot of innovative features on it. The bolt head is interchangeable, so you can change between a Magnum bolt face, a standard bolt face, or a say a 223 or 300 blackout, and you can swap out the bolt faces instead of getting a whole brand new bolt, right?
Yeah, I'm glad you said
And
that because
then swap barrels, the whole bit, and it's very modular. That action is,
what do you
and
lose as far as like your accuracy when you change those barrels on those both face? Because what I read was that you're supposed to be able to do all that in like within 15 minutes or so.
no, that doesn't. I mean, that doesn't shouldn't change. Your accuracy is dependent upon the machining of your barrel and the interface with the action. If you're
Oh,
swapping out bolts or bolt faces, as long the machining tolerances of a lot of these action manufacturers now, American Rifle Company, Impact Precision, Lone Peak, Arms, the machining accuracy is within
okay,
tens of thousands of inches, right? So
okay.
you can take a barrel. I can unscrew a barrel from my rifle, put on a different barrel, screw it back on, and there will be 0 point of impact shift, zero anything. It just shoots.
So you're saying that same gun that I'm shooting 6.5, I can change my barrel and change my bolt face and be shooting 223.
Yep,
Oh wow.
100%.
Okay.
Yep.
All right. Because I was thinking about getting the Pro 2. I mean, that's just because I'm
Yeah.
hearing you get a heavier profile barrel with that Pro 2 or whatever, and then, another
Yeah.
question too, the mirage factor. I never noticed that until we were out there shooting. I'm like, man, why is everything waving up? And then I realized that.
Oh boy, I
Right.
could
So
I
do
could
you
talk for
shoot
I
the
could talk for hours about that.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
And I'm
So
hearing I mean,
so fill me
I
in.
some kind of crowd that'll help with that too.
Fill me in on Mirage effect. I'm not hip.
So Mirage is
I mean, I know the Mirage.
um
But go
yeah,
ahead.
Mirage is what you're seeing through your scope or binoculars, whatever. That's what the wind, the reflection of the sun and the wind. It's basically the heat waves, right? There's mirage conditions are obviously more prevalent when it's warmer outside, but it could also depending upon the angle of the sun, what time of day it is, how much wind there is, you can actually predict how fast the wind is going by looking at and reading the mirage. You can see the direction of the wind. You can see which direction it's coming from. If it's coming straight at you, if it's going away from you, if it's coming from 3 o'clock, 9 o'clock, 6 o'clock. It I could spend hours talking about mirage, but the short and dirty version of mirage is it's your indicator of the wind at distance. So
But
you
especially when
can.
you shoot suppressed though. That's when I really
Yeah,
like.
now mirage from your barrel and your suppressor is a
Yeah.
completely different thing.
Yeah, that's what
So
I was
you
talking
can get.
about.
Oh, okay. So yeah,
Yeah.
so you get heat mirage from your barrel or your suppressor if it gets too
Mhm.
hot, right? And it rises up in
Right.
front of your scope, and it
Yep.
can shift your point of impact and your point of aim based off of
Yeah,
how
and
much
that's when I
mirage.
noticed it. I'm sitting there I'm wiping my eyes, like, dude, my eyes. I'm like, dude, my eyes, my eyes. And
Gotta
Shane
let
had to
that
tell me,
barrel cool down.
yeah, yeah. Shane was like, man, it's the mirage off your suppressor. I'm like, oh, okay. So yeah, I thought it was my
Yeah,
eyes. So
so I run a. I'm sure you probably do too, but I don't know if you can see it in there, but
Hey, you can.
maybe
Hey,
not.
Red. You can all show and tell, brother. We want to see some of them toys now. You can bring them
yeah,
toys out. It's not
Uh,
live.
oh, all right, okay. Hold on, I'm gonna pull off. So I don't know if you can see that. So
yeah.
that's a suppressor I run for competition.
What
Okay.
suppressor? So you got to
Let's
you
see.
got to you got to tell us what it is.
So this is an Area 419 Maverick. So this is a fully modular suppressor. I've got a case. I don't know where the heck it's at, but I can add sections to it to make
Okay.
it quieter. But it also has a muzzle brake on the end of it.
Wow.
Yep.
So what's the
So
benefit of it being modular in the sport that you in, or when it comes to precision rifle?
I mean, 99% of the time, I shoot it in this exact configuration. So this is the shortest configuration, and you can add sections which with more baffles in it, which just makes it quieter,
Hmm.
but you get
Mm.
more recoil. So this in this configuration with the muzzle brake, it's the least amount of recoil, but it reduces the concussion enough to where it's not giving me a headache after a full weekend of shooting. Because I mean, after after 400 rounds, in 2 straight days of shooting, it can start getting to you. It's, I mean, I love shooting behind a muzzle brake, because it's the best recoil mitigation and it's super accurate. I wouldn't say that this is any less accurate, um, but with I put a suppressor cover on it that's got a
Right.
fireproof blanket and insulation on it that keeps the mirage down quite a
Okay.
bit. So, um, but I'd say, the suppressor technology in the last 3 or 4 years has been crazy, and not only that, after the first of the year, you don't have to pay a $200 tax stamp anymore, so which is huge.
I'm just wondering how
So,
fast the turnaround is going to be on us once they do that. Are we going to go back to waiting a
well, you
year?
still got to go through. You still got to go through the same process, of
Mhm.
doing the Form 4 through
Right.
e-forms. But they've streamlined that so well over the last year or so, year and a half. I remember when I got my first suppressor, I waited 13 months for my first suppressor. It was
I waited
ridiculous. And
15.
then the last one I got, 2 days, done.
Yeah. I've been a week.
So
It's been my best, but
yeah,
like the first one I got, first of all, I got the suppressors because Ann Arbor Arms was doing a buy one, get one free. So I was like, well, I might as well get one. So I bought
sure.
it. It was when it was the government shut down, and I ended up waiting like 14, 15 months for it. But once they started
Wow.
doing it, the fast turnaround, I probably bought like 6 of them. So yeah. So
Oh, all
now I'm
right.
worried
Well, you got
about
more than I do.
yeah, and I'm worried about when they do this government shutdown, is it gonna go back to 6 months, a year, all that kind of stuff? Because everybody's waiting. So
Yeah. Well, I mean, I wouldn't really worry about that at this point. I'm sure if you've got a bunch, if you got a 30 cal suppressor,
yep, that's what I
that's
did
that's
too.
all you'll need. That's all you need for long range shooting, depending on what you got.
So when
So
when it comes to like new shooters, where do you see like some big mistakes in precision shooters? Like when they come out, like some certain, it could be equipment, it could be whatever. I don't know. Since because you started out and it wasn't, it seemed like you
yeah,
jumped into
yeah.
like the YouTube and was in doing your education, but like where do you see a lot of mistakes being made at when it comes to precision shooting?
Oh boy. I'm trying to. That's a. I mean, there's really no. I mean, it depends on what your goal is, right? If the mistake for a competition shooter is a different mistake for somebody who just wants to have fun and go out there and shoot. I mean, if you just want to shoot long range, um, you know, but have a buy once, cry once type of mentality, like I said before, the MPA, as far as equipment goes, that's as good to go. You can't go wrong there. Um, I guess the number one mistake is get good glass. Don't skimp on glass. Don't buy something cheap. I know it sucks, but I started off with a $400 Vortex Diamondback tactical H, whatever it was, I can't remember. 6 to 24 by 50. I mean, it was a decent scope. There was nothing really wrong with it for what I was doing, but you can't. skimp on glass. Glass is everything.
Mm-hmm.
Good turrets. Get a first focal plane scope with exposed turrets in MRAD, not MOA.
Explain.
Yeah. I'm
So,
about to write it down.
well, I mean, you guys are probably used to using MOA, right? So,
Yeah.
MRAD's easy to figure out, right? It's based off of tens, so it's easier to compute distance, and then not only that, for what I do, 99.9% of other shooters are using MRAD. So we talk the same language, right? When somebody shows up with an MOA scope and they're saying, that's 32, MOA to the target, I have absolutely no clue what they're talking about because it's not in my wheelhouse. I don't even think about it. So if you're 99% of long range shooters out there, whether it be competition or otherwise, use an MRAD scope without a doubt.
So I'll be a
Unless
professional on that by
unless you're shooting F class guys use MOA still, but for the most part, most long range shooters use MRAD.
So do they use that app still, like that Hornady app and all that stuff, or not really?
For me, I use applied ballistics for
Okay.
all of my for all my calculation, but I use a Kestrel. So hold on, let me grab it.
Did you
Kestrel.
You said what?
You know,
Hold up.
you do MRAD all night.
Well, I guess one of my questions about the NRAD and the MOAs is
So I
just
use a Kestrel.
go ahead.
Okay.
So you can use an app.
Extra.
Applied Ballistics has an app for your phone, which is awesome. It's called AB Quantum. What are you laughing at?
I'm laughing at Roddy taking notes because you
He know
got
I am. 'Cause he already know I am.
Hey,
That's why I
hey,
asked
hey,
you again. Are you ready for
Red,
me?
Red. Listen, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
He caught. Listen, this is we and him be on the phone. He'll call me 50 times about one thing, and it's just our ADD kick in, and he writing stuff down. I see him taking notes, and this is why I got him on here to talk to you, just to get all this out. But just excuse me if I'm laughing at
To
him because
get him off of your back is why,
I
right? You're like, hey,
right.
get off my back,
Hey,
man. Talk to
car,
Rhett. I'll
car
pass it
red
on to
again.
him.
Right, but go ahead.
Yeah. So for as far as ballistics app goes, Hornady was great, but it's kind of it's not my favorite. I would use applied ballistics. They're kind of the king of the calculators now, and I don't think Hornady's really. I don't think they're not as big in it with it. Once applied ballistics got into the picture, they kind of stepped away. I don't know if they've updated their app much or they really support it a whole lot, but applied ballistics is the way to go. I mean,
Okay.
99% of shooters that I know use applied ballistics.
Rodney, what's that other company that you looked up that will send you a whole packet and they got training? Like, what was that company?
Paramount. It's
Paramount.
on. Yep. Paramount is a company. I think they're out of Arizona, and they're like, buy from us. We'll put your whole gun together. They've got a Pro Series. I wish I would have said that to Kevin. I don't know if you can go on their website, Kevin, but they have a gun that you could buy. I think it's like $5,000 with glass. Now I don't know how good that glass is,
Whoa.
but
That
but
seems, yeah, I
in a
think,
sense, you're buying an MPA for 3,000, like you said, and then you get the glass with it. What 2,000?
yeah.
Are you saying there's no way that glass is good at that price, or
No, 2000's good. I mean,
okay,
if I was going to buy glass, there's plenty of options on the secondary market for glass.
okay?
There's a website called Sniper's Hide. Have you ever been on that? It's
Hold
a
on, hold on,
forum.
hold on. Oh,
You said
it's called Sniper's Hide.
Yep, Sniper's
sniper.
Hide. Sniper's Hide. Oh boy, you're going to be up all night on
Oh, he
that site
will. He
tonight. I
will.
can
H
guarantee
I
it.
D E.
Yep, HIDE, like hide and seek. Yep,
It's a
Sniper's
forum
Hide.
or is a website.
Now it's everything. They've got their own social media. They've got their own television, but the forums are a plethora of knowledge, and
Is this
they
it?
have classified. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Yeah, Hide
Oh,
TV. Yep.
oh boy.
Yep. So you log in, set up an account,
Hello.
and you can click on, there's forums somewhere in there. I don't know. It's so confusing now. I think
It's
in
right
the
here.
menu in the upper left hand
Yeah, I
corner.
mean
Yeah.
my picture is it's right here. My picture is over it. It's
No, they
right
don't
there.
sell products. It's just informational.
Yeah, it's very informational. If you want to learn anything and everything about long range shooting, it's on there. And there's not a lot of BS on it either. It's pretty straightforward. I know it's owned by a guy named Frank Galley, who is
Mm.
he was a Marine sniper, I believe, or he was a military sniper of some sort, and he's been in the game a long time, a very long time. He's got a podcast as well. I think it's called the Modern Day Sniper Podcast. Um, and I've learned more. When I first started out, I learned more from Sniper's Hide than anywhere. And they have a classified section, a buy sell trade type of classified section where you can find pretty much anything you could ever possibly need. It- i.e., glass, binoculars, whatever. You could buy full rifles on there too. You know,
Oh, okay.
or bits and pieces, actions, barrels, chassis, all secondhand. I mean,
On the
it's a
sniper
buy.
high.
It's a Sniper's Hide. Yep, and you
Okay.
go to the forums, and you scroll down to the classified section. There's a buy sell trade forum, and it's pretty intuitive. It's laid out very well. And ask a lot of questions. Everybody's usually super helpful. That's one thing about the long range shooting community is that you won't find a lot of assholes. A lot of guys are super cool and they will help you out no matter what. Especially in my sport for PRS. I mean, PRS is just infinitely growing day by day, but I've met some of my closest friends in the world, that I would call my brother, I mean, through this sport, and I love it. And I've never really, I've met there's always a few sour apples, right? But for the most part, every single person is awesome, and it's a great community. It really is.
So let me ask you that. That's a I got a question. When it comes to like buying stuff or like old or used, what parts should you look into getting opposed to like buy? Look, I'm gonna buy this new, but I can probably find something on Sniper's Hide that somebody else had.
So
Like, what you have to look
glass
out
is
for?
a
Like, go ahead.
Yeah, glass is great. Buying used glass, I would is awesome because 90% of scope manufacturers out there have a lifetime warranty, no questions asked, lifetime warranty, like Vortex, um, Athlon, Swaro, Zico. They all have lifetime warranties. So if you buy something secondhand and say it's busted or broken or it's not working right, you send it into the manufacturer and it's fully transferable. They'll fix it for free. So I would have no problems buying glass secondhand, 100%. I mean, well, I think I use for both my comp rifles, I use Vortex scopes. I have Vortex Razor Gen 3s on mine, 6 to 36 by 56, or yeah,
This one right
56, I
here.
think.
Dang.
Yeah, the Razor Gen 3. Yep.
Okay.
Don't let the
Dang.
MSRP fool you. That's not how much it costs. No. I
what?
mean,
What?
you can pick them up secondhand all day long for 2,300 bucks, and then I've even seen them as low as 2,000, 2,100 secondhand, and they're just the one the one that's on this rifle right here. That's a secondhand scope. I bought that off of a guy off Sniper Side.
Mm.
Right.
I think I paid 2,200 bucks for it. Now the black one, so I got a brown one and a black one. The black one up there, I bought that one brand new from Euro Optic, and they usually have super good deals. I think I paid brand new, it was like 20. $500, I think,
Mm.
for that one. So
What do you?
don't let the MSRP scare you away.
Yeah, it looks like I'll be
So
going on sniper's hide. What
I
barrel
I
length?
would I would suggest it.
Barrel length for that
Barrel
6.5.
length. Uh so both of my barrels are 26 inches.
Okay.
Um so I've tested 24, 25, 26, even 28. And I found that 26 is kind of the sweet spot for me. Um
Okay.
but for what I do, for PRS, I need the balance. The balance of the rifle is key to everything because I'm shooting on barricades and props, and I need that. I need a neutral balance with the rifle. So I need to put my hand underneath that rifle, like
And
kind of right about
right.
here, and I need it to be completely level. I need it
Okay.
to stay level in my palm of my hand. So,
Okay.
um, but for if you're just doing fun long range shooting, 24 to 26 is probably good. For 6.5 at 24, you can get away with a 24-inch barrel, a little more than say 6 millimeter cartridge, but
Okay.
or even. And I don't know on the PMR Pro 2. I don't know for from Masterpiece. I think it comes with a 26,
Okay.
or maybe it's a. I think it is 26 from the factory. Most production, quote unquote, production rifles, um, full rifle packages will come with either a 24 or 26-inch barrel.
Okay.
But
Mm.
you can't go wrong with either one. You'll be fine.
What
If
kind?
you're not shooting competition, either one will work just fine.
What kind of range are you shooting? What do you find yourself like? What's your longest range that you've shot?
So for the PRS, we shoot from anywhere from 300 to 1,300 yards typically. It's very rare you get anything past 1,200. Um,
Okay.
most ranges, and that's only a few stages. On say a typical 2-day pro match, you run 20 stages. There may only be 2 stages out of that whole entire match where you're 11, 1,200 yards, but typically, and it's only typically a few shots of that stage. It's not like you're shooting, you know, 10 shots at 1,200 yards straight, so,
Damn.
um,
Shooting,
with a 6.5 Creedmoor, you easily hit 1,000 yards, no problem.
man.
Yeah, I
Right.
bet you if you bought a Masterpiece Arms or any of these, even the Daniel Defense for that matter, and a 6.5 Creedmoor, and you got a good zero, and you had a nice day with decent weather, um, you put in all the factors in your ballistics calculator correctly, um, there's no reason why you shouldn't be able to hit an 18-inch plate at 1,000 yards on the very first shot.
Wow. You talk about I go
No
haywire.
problem.
I'm seeing them shoot like same hole. I'm like, damn, that's crazy. Well, some of the guys I see, they're shooting maybe 400 yards with a 6.5 Creedmoor or something like that. And he's got the
Hmm.
camera zoomed up on it and he's shooting. I'm like, did he miss? The dude is hitting the same hole. It's like you don't even some shots you don't even see the hole get bigger. It's just like, man, that's crazy. That is
I
crazy.
remember my dad's a big hunter, and that's kind of I grew up shooting and hunting and being around guns my whole entire life. And when I started this sport, and I started getting really big into it and started getting really good at it, I remember telling my dad, he had never seen me shoot or been to a match or anything like that, but I took him. I remember talking to him and telling him that my guns are so accurate. At 100 yards, I could probably put 50 shots in the same hole at 100 yards and just have a ragged hole. And he just, yeah, right, no way, not a chance in hell. So I took him to the range and I did it. I put 50 shots in
Same
the
hole.
same hole, at the same exact hole. And when I say my group size was probably, I don't know, 3/8 of an inch, a
Jeez.
quarter of an inch, 3/8 of an inch,
That was with the 6.5.
and no, that's with my other cartridge, my 6BR. 6.5 will do it too, no problem. Yeah,
Okay.
I've just never had the reason to shoot groups more than that. So, but I did that just to prove a point more than anything. There's
Yeah,
no reason for
but
me
I
to
mean, to your dad too. That's
shoot a
like
50 shot group.
eat them apples, pop. Where you get
Yeah,
out of
I
that
mean
24?
the way the bullets are nowadays. I mean, the bullet technology is advanced so much over the last 10, 15 years.
Yeah.
With a lot of these, hybrid boat tail style bullets, you can't. It's hard not to. If you got a competent gunsmith or a competent, gun manufacturer that spins up a decent barrel with the bullet technology out there today, it's almost impossible to not hit a plate at 1,000 yards today. It's very easy to do.
So
Very, very easy to do.
when you say you do your own machining, are you making your own barrels as well?
Yeah, everything. Yeah. So I
Okay.
buy I buy a barrel blank from companies. I typically use Bartline barrels for my centerfire rifles, and then for rimfire rifles, I either use Bartline or Krieger barrels. So, but that's full custom rifles, right? I mean, so I buy a blank and then I put it in the lathe and I do my magic on it. And
So you over
so
there,
they're
dog? He creating his own barrel. That's crazy.
I got a lathe, but it ain't for barrel. It's for wood.
no, no, yeah,
Yeah.
it's much different. Yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
so my barrels hold my tolerances I hold are within 1/10,000th of an inch,
man, that's
within
great.
1/10,000th of an inch. So,
Okay.
um, it's a tedious process and it takes time, but it's worth it in the end. And it's a lot of work, but I love it and I enjoy it. I really do. It's very passionate about it. So.
So
Mhm.
what's the one thing the naysayers say, Rob, when they say, "Well, you go out there with a $5,000 rifle or something, I can do the same thing with a $3,000 rifle." Because
No.
we get that a lot. You're gonna
Yeah, for
spend the
If
sure.
money.
you're just having fun, you can go and buy a Ruger American at Sportsman's Warehouse for 450 or $500, whatever they are, in 6.5 Creedmoor. Buy an MDT or an MPA chassis, throw it in there, put a muzzle brake and a glass on top of it. You'll hit 1,000 yards, no problem whatsoever.
Mm.
Hmm.
There's
Hmm.
lots of there's a lot of companies out there. Tika makes a great rifle. Bergara makes a fantastic rifle.
Yeah, I
Um,
that's what he was telling me to get a Bergara Premier Action series or something like that,
yeah,
and put it in
yeah,
Daniel. That's what he was telling me to do. But
yeah. Bergara makes a great rifle. They actually you can actually buy a Bergara rifle from the factory, Bergara factory, with a
mhm.
Masterpiece Arms chassis on it.
Oh, really? Okay.
So yeah, yep. So Bergara and Masterpiece Arms partnered up, and you can buy a Bergara rifle with a Masterpiece Arms chassis.
Will it still be around the same price though? About around 3,000, or
Yeah, yeah. At that point, you're just better off buying the Masterpiece Arms rifle.
just go straight
I mean,
Masterpiece Arms? Okay.
yeah, they're all based off of a Remington 700 footprint, which is what I would stick with.
Mhm.
Daniel Defense. I don't know their rifle too well, but I don't think it's a Remington 700 footprint. It's got its own custom action, custom
Okay.
chassis, custom. There's no modularity to it. There's not a whole
Yeah.
lot of aftermarket support. So
Okay.
I would stick with a Remington 700 footprint, and that way you can use AICS or AW Max.
Mm.
I mean, that's
Uh,
important though too. That custom. I mean, the support, the call. I guess everybody want customer support when something go wrong, especially your gun not shooting or whatever. So that's key too.
well, it's aftermarket support too. I mean, that's the biggest thing. Yeah, go with the big name. I mean, Dana Defense is huge. I mean, they're massive, and I've seen tons of videos on them, and they're all over YouTube. I've seen the review videos. I know that
Yeah.
Coleon Noir, he did a video on one. There's a bunch of them that do it. But that's the one that stands out to me. I remember watching his video on it, and it's a decent
Yeah.
rifle. It's not bad at all.
And he
But
don't
Yeah, I
want to
think
be.
he was walking around shooting though. I don't necessarily want a light one. You know what I mean? I'm not looking for light.
no, you don't want light. I
Yeah,
mean, my rifle, that one behind me, that weighs 26 pounds.
right. Yeah.
That's heavy. I've got weight on it. It's got brass weights on it. That
Yeah,
big
yeah. You
one
got
and a
ways
quarter
to
inch barrel. Yeah,
that
it's heavy.
22.
It's very
That
heavy.
22. That 22 is a masterpiece Arms too chassis.
Yep, it is. Yes.
What
Yep.
kind of scope is that? What kind of range are you getting out of that?
The scope, it's a Razor Gen 3, just like my
Okay.
centerfire. It's the same exact scope that's on my centerfire rifle. They're both the exact same scope. The chassis are pretty much identical as well. But for the 22, you typically go out to 350 with a 22
Okay.
in competition. I
Wow.
mean, with a 22 shooting subsonic ammo, subsonic target ammo, anything past 300, because it's just the it doesn't have enough velocity, it doesn't have enough inertia to be crazy accurate. But I mean, at 200 yards, that rifle will put an inch and a half group at 200 yards
Man.
with a 22, and then same hole at 50 yards and less than an inch at 100.
Well, I got to throw this in there. The people we talk to are Daniel snobs. So, they Daniel people. So they keep talking Daniel this, Daniel that, and he like, nah, I don't want to be
Yeah,
like everybody else and get a
Yeah.
Daniel Defense chassis. I want to do something different.
I'll tell you
And
this: you show up with an MPA PMR rifle at the range when all the other guys were using Daniel Defense. I bet you any money in a few months they'll all have an MPA in their friggin' gun cabinet.
Hmm.
I guarantee
Yeah.
it.
Hmm.
It'll outperform the Daniel Defense all day long.
Okay.
Uh, That's my opinion. I mean, but I I would choose a Remington 700 footprint action. I mean, you're basically getting a custom rifle for a production cost.
Right.
Um, and it's fully modular, right? You can swap out barrels, you can swap out bolt heads, you can use different
Yeah.
types of magazines, and then not only that, that chassis can be used with any other action that's in a Remington 700 footprint, right? Say you
Yeah.
want to get a different action one day, you can use it, and then not only that too, say you don't want to do it anymore, you can sell it for almost what you paid for it
Yeah.
because they're in such high demand, right? The
Right.
resale the resale on an MPA is going to be far better than the resale on a Daniel Defense rifle.
Right. Okay.
let me ask you
Yeah.
this,
So
Rod, did you look into, is an MPA easy to get to? Like, do you got to wait like a long period of time, or do you know?
Some of
no,
them were
not at
8.
all.
Well, I saw some
Y-
of them were
y-
8 weeks, and I was trying to buy like a whole rifle or something like that. But I mean, that ain't bad for
They
me.
so they so if you buy direct from the factory, it can take long. They do have a few preferred distributors where that keep stock of a lot of rifles.
Paramount was one of
Uh,
them. That's what I was saying. If you could put, I don't know.
Paramount Tactical, yeah. Um,
Now Paramount
I
Tactical is the
think
one I was telling you that I could get the whole gun. They set it up. Everything's done with the scope for 5,000. I don't know if
is
Kevin could
that
pull that up,
their
but I
own? Is
don't.
that their own rifle? Is that
No,
their
it's
own rifle
no, it's
or?
MPA. They've in fact got rid of everything
Oh,
else. All they sell is MPA.
oh. Well, then, depending on what the scope is, that's a great deal. Can't go
Yeah, and they
wrong.
were like, "Come out! Not only do we want you to
Um,
buy the gun, come out and pick it up. We'll give you training and like so. They saying they got all kind of
oh wow.
classes. He was on there with his wife. You could do a custom case, like if I wanted the extra bolt or whatever. I mean, they make a case
Hmm.
for you. All that kind of stuff if you want it. So
Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean, I guess I haven't heard of that. But there's no reason for me to, right? I mean, I do everything on my, I haven't had to purchase a rifle in quite a few years. So, um, I would, I mean, you're on the right track, right? I mean, you've done your research and you're doing your due diligence, but I think, well, once you get on sniper side, you're you're gonna see all types of stuff. That's all gonna change real quick. But I guess the main points for me is stick with a cartridge where you can buy factory ammo, obviously. So if 6.5 Creedmoor over 308 for me.
Mm-hmm.
Second, get something in a Remington 700 footprint that's modular where you can swap chassis if you need to. Um, use standard magazines, nothing specialized, just an AICS magazine or an AW magazine, depending on your preference. Um, don't skimp on glass. You know, uh, anywhere you can get a good piece of glass for 1,500 bucks, 1,000, 15. But that once you get over the $2,000 mark, that's when the glass starts to get real good. Get
Okay.
something with Japanese glass
Japanese
or
glass.
German
I saw
glass.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Japanese or German glass. Don't get anything with Chinese glass in it.
yeah.
Mm.
It's not worth it.
I'm probably gonna go on, that website that you said and try to see if I can find me a nice piece of glass on there,
Yeah.
secondhand.
Another scope, a Loophole Mark Five. Um,
Okay.
you can pick those up for 1,500 bucks all day long, and that is a fantastic scope. I mean, some of the best shooters in the world use that scope, even though the price point isn't crazy. Compared to some of your zero compromise or tangent thetas or even vortex for that matter. The higher end razor.
Mm-hmm.
You're the loophole Mark Five will do you just fine. It's won hundreds of matches, and
Okay.
you can go out to a mile with that scope without blinking an eye, no problem.
Okay.
That's what I started with was loophole Mark Five, and
Okay.
So what, like a
I
7 to
switched to Horde.
35? Is that how it works? It
No,
needs
if
to.
5 to 20, I would go 5 to 25. You don't need 735. 5 to 25 loophole Mark Five. That's all you need.
What about triggers?
I only use Trigger Tech. So I run a single stage Trigger Tech Diamond Pro Curve trigger in all of my rifles. Everything single stage. It's there's no travel whatsoever. It's a crisp, clean break, no over travel, and it's fully adjustable. So in my center fire rifle, I tend to run it about a pound. I used to run it lower than that, but I wasn't. Uh, for safety's sake, I put it up to a little bit over a pound. On my
Mm.
rimfire rifles, I run it around 9 or 10. Well, 10 to 11 ounces on my rimfire rifles on the 22s.
Man,
So
it's touch. Yeah.
That them boys are touchy feely. I'm
Yeah, I
scared of
saw
a
that.
2 pound trigger.
yeah. Well, you guys are all used to gas guns, right? So gas gun, yeah. All my gas guns are 3 pound triggers, 2.5 pound triggers, and I wouldn't go anywhere below that, to be honest with you. But for a bolt action rifle, um, a pound, anything over 17, 18 ounces is too much.
Mm.
Okay.
So you want it to be accurate. I mean, for what I do, I mean, we're shooting at targets that are 2, 3, 4 inches at 500, 600 yards, right? So,
Yeah.
um, I mean, we're talking sub MOA targets, at all distance. I mean, you're 1.5 MOA to 1 MOA targets, pretty much across the board. Um,
Mm.
and then sub MOA targets. I mean, I shot a match in Tennessee in October, you know, we're shooting 0.6 MOA targets at 1,000 yards.
Damn.
I mean, so it's and it's the competition's only getting tougher. Everybody's getting better. I mean, it's crazy. It's this whole precision long range shooting game has just blown up over the last several years, and it keeps on getting better and better on a daily basis. The powder technology, the bullet technology, the brass technology. You don't reload, so factory ammo, you don't got a whole lot of options. Like I said, Hornady, ELD ammo. Burger makes a factory ammo, but it's super pricey. They use Lapua brass, and then Lapua makes factory ammo as well for 6.5 Creedmoor. And you're starting to able to get that a lot easier than what you used to. So, but if for what you're doing, Hornady 6.5 ELDM ammo is more than enough for long range shooting. It's great ammo, and it's $40 a box. It's $2 a round. Which is about the same as if you're reloading your own ammo.
Okay.
Maybe a little bit more. I mean, but I load 10,000 rounds a year, so 8 to 10,000 rounds a year
How much is a setup for it?
of various calibers. Oh god, that's a whole nother can of worms.
Oh yeah, that's a whole other podcast.
I mean, you can get a starter set. I don't necessarily wouldn't. There's a podcast as well. If you want to learn, they're about 170 or 160 episodes in right now. It's two gentlemen by the name of Chad Heckler and Francis Cologne. They're both Michigan guys, and they're both two of the best shooters in the world.
Oh,
And they do podcasts, and if from beginning to end, they'll teach you everything you need to know about everything, about reloading, about wind calls, about rifles, about cleaning, about you name it, they do it. And I mean, and they've been doing it a long time, and they're both fantastic human beings as well. They would tear the shirt off your back, but I would check out that podcast. It's called Miles to Matches. Um, that would be another good resource for information as well.
okay.
I mean, I listen to them. They release an episode it used to be every week, but now it's every 2 weeks. On Thursday morning, they release a new episode about something, and they're 160 episodes in. And yeah, I mean, you could go down a wormhole there listening to all the episodes. A lot of their earlier episodes it is very informational for the new and beginning shooter on what mistakes not to make, what right decisions to make, what type of reloading equipment to buy, everything. But in our game, it's buy once, cry once. So I don't know. I can't. You can see it in the background. So my reloading, I mean, I run a lab scale for my powder. So I run an AMD 120i. It's fully automated with an auto trickler setup, so it fully meters the powder within 1/100th of a grain of powder. So I seat my bullets with with a it's got a dial indicator on my press, so I seat my bullets to within 5/10 of an inch, with the same exact pressure, the same powder charge, same everything. Consistency for long range shooting, consistency is key. You want everything exactly the same. You want your brass the same, your powder charge the same, your bullets the same, everything the same, always the same.
Well, yeah.
Consistency is key.
Well, I know that's like I said, that's another whole conversation in itself when it comes to reloading ammo. I was gonna ask a quick
100%.
I was gonna ask a quick question. How important is that trigger being so light and precise on when you know actually break that shot, because it seems like you know you're sitting there, you're looking at the target, and then it's like, okay, now it's time to break. But that was, you know.
Well, you know, just like any other type of shooting, you know, your breathing control, um, your natural point of aim, um, those are the two most important things. Is getting set with a natural your NPA, natural point of aim, where you're not manipulating the rifle at all whatsoever, and you're square behind the rifle to the target. That's the most important thing. And then your breath control. Um, you know, inhale deep, exhale, pull trigger. You know, easy breaths. You know, getting that rhythm of shooting, getting the rhythm, and always having a natural point of aim. That is the that is the 100% the most important thing, is being settled behind the rifle, square behind the rifle, no manipulation of the rifle to the target. Inhale, exhale, pull trigger.
I think that's the basic fundamentals of any shooting, right? You
Yeah,
know,
that's marksmanship 101, right? I
right.
mean, it's just as important as it ever for any type of discipline of shooting, for hunting, for competition, for just, you know, having fun with your buddies, going out there. You know, it's all the same. You know, if
Hmm.
you're shooting three gun, if you're, you know, you're any shooting discipline, it's, you know, the fundamentals of marksmanship is is key. So
So we bought out an hour. You know, I got one more question. Since
sure.
where do you practice at? Like to because you know work life whatever. Where do you go practice at this long range? Because you got to get out there and like stretch them legs out. Ain't nowhere real close to
So
get out there and stretch them legs.
I do a lot of dry fire training in my garage,
Wow. What
or
kind of
in
setup?
my basement.
What do you do?
I've got a barricade set up. It's a homemade barricade setup made out of 2x4s and 4x4s, where at various different heights and levels, angles, stuff like that. And I just, you know, just go through the motions. It's all about muscle memory, right? You know, because in my sport we do a lot of positional shooting, so there's a ton of movement. You know, I'm moving sometimes 9 times for 10 shots. You know, at 10 different positions.
Mm.
You know, that's rare, but I'm typically moving anywhere from 4 to 5 times throughout the stage. So it's all about going through the motions, muscle memory, getting your bag settled, you know, your shooting bag settled, get your rifle settled in a shooting bag, getting square behind the rifle, you know, bolt work, you know, it's all just tips. And as far as live fire practice, I'm a member at a couple of clubs down here. I'm a member.
Mm.
Um,
He said 30,000 rounds a year. That's
Okay, so
crazy.
you said the read back because you have paused.
sorry.
I mean, it was I guess the Wi-Fi. We ain't gonna hold you much longer because it was cracking up before.
No,
But
it's all good.
yeah, you said that you have membership at a couple places where you do some long range shooting,
Yeah,
and we also are
Livingston
members at Blue
Conservation
Water.
Club, Blue Water. Yeah, Blue Water is not really conducive to long range shooting. Um, so I'm actually gonna not renew my membership at Blue Water. But and then at MTC up in Lake City, Michigan. You guys ever been there or heard of it?
A lot.
Marksmanship Training Center.
A lot of my guys, some of my friends go up there and shoot the 5K or do the 5K run, a
Hmm.
Wolverine run,
Oh, the
and
Wolverine. Yeah, Wolverine
yeah,
5K. Yep.
yeah, and
Yep.
I was telling Rod about it. Like you can go up there and get some training if you want. You can go up there because it's local. Like Miss, you don't have to go to Arizona and get some training on long range. So you
Yeah,
could.
they've got a lot of great classes up there. I mean, I know all the instructors who teach the classes. So
What's what's the
they're
name of
great
it again?
guys. Marksmanship Training Center.
Okay.
Yep. Um, the guy that probably would do they have different levels of long range shooting courses. They have an introductory, and then a level one, level two. But the instructor up there is really great. He knows exactly what he's talking about. He's a, you know, former military sniper. Um, and it's veteran. The place is veteran owned as well, so it's owned by veterans and guys that were all snipers, in the military, so they know what they're talking about. That's a great place. You can go out to 1,100 yards there. They've got 2 long range lanes. They've got and then and it's not just long range shooting too. They've got a pistol course. They've got a run and gun. 3-gun type of courses. They've got a rimfire range. They've got all types of stuff out there. It's a great facility, and they keep on upgrading it every year. And it's not horribly expensive either. I think it's like $300 a year to be a member there, and it's by far the best range within within a few hundred miles that I know of. So, and it's for me. It's 3 hours away. So you guys are probably the same. So
it's about 3 hours away. Okay.
yeah, it's 3 hours. Totally worth it. I'm actually going up there a couple days after Christmas. I'm going to go up there for a couple of days and get some practice in.
Okay.
All right, Rob. You got any more questions so we can let him roll?
Oh, that's a lot of information. I got like 2 pages, brother.
Well, hey, Kevin, feel free to give him
no,
my number.
No,
it's all good.
Yes, sir.
Give him my number. I'll be more than happy to help. I got no problem.
Kevin, you heard what he said. Kevin's like, where you at? I love you.
Red.
Hey, I'm glad to help, man. I'm glad to help. I love it. I eat, sleep, and breathe it. It's the greatest.
He was like,
I love it.
Rob was like, where you meet Red? I said, man, he came to the post office one time, and a couple of times he was sending out something. I don't know.
I had a T-shirt on or something. I had a PRS T-shirt on.
Right, and I just started asking questions. Yep. You went on from there.
Well, you didn't want to say too much because you're at work, but yeah. And then I gave you my number, and then we hit it off, and
right.
Ever
and
since,
then
so
dang, he said that on tape. I got it recorded that he said give him
his number. Yeah.
He's gonna be like, hey, so I'm up here now. What should I buy? Because that's what the whole thing. Okay, so he didn't want to go to Daniel, and the Masterpiece Arts is kind of like it keep coming up. Nothing else keep coming up. It's like Daniel.
You want to know what? Hold on a second. I'm gonna add something. If you want to see, I mean, one there's a Masterpiece Arms dealer here in Southeast Michigan.
Where? What's the name of
it? Michigan in St. Clair Shores. It's called instead of Michigan, it's Michigan. And they're an MPA dealer. They have they might even have a 6.5 in stock, to be honest with you.
It's called Michigan. It's called Michigan.
Michigan. Yep, Michigan.
Okay.
Like Michigan, but with a U.
In St. Clair Shores.
Yeah, it's off of Harbor Road.
I know where we're going after Christmas.
Christmas. You're not working this week. We going tomorrow. You already know. I have no patience.
I mean, shoot! If you really want to see one up close and personal, you can swing by my place and take a look at mine too.
Stop!
I don't. It doesn't bother me.
Hey man,
that's fine. I'd be more than happy to show it to you. Whatever you want to see.
Oh, right by the job.
Hey, okay, we'll talk about that after recording. Hey, we talk about after recording. I ain't put too much. Okay, so do you got any more questions for him, Rod?
Nah, man, I got his phone number now, so I'm good. I'll be calling you as soon as we done.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, so you got that. You hear the end of it. So here's a little snippet of me and Rod's conversation after the video, after the Q&A with all three of us. So just a little snippet of me and Rod talking, a little after action conversation. So what do you think about what you asked him?
Oh man, dude, that was a lot of information, bro. I mean, you know how long I'm gonna be on YouTube tonight? MTC, Michigan. What did it say? Michigan and St. Clair Shores, marksmanship.
So everybody, every time
this dude pages, right?
Listen, this a little backstory. Every time this dude get a job, a construction job, or fire job, he always find a gun store near
Mhm.
him that he can go to, and I guarantee you, he gonna get a job out in St. Clair Shores. Somehow, some way, he gonna get blessed with a job out in St. Clair Shores.
I guarantee you, I'm going to be at Michigan tomorrow. You think I'm playing?
I do
You
not
know,
think you.
hey, let's go, bro. For real.
All right, everybody, I'm back. So that was I was trying to go Q&A with that, just asking some questions. But once, you ask Red, somebody that's passionate about the sport, passionate about what he does, just loves to give information and talk. And, so I hope that helped you. I know it helped my boy Rod 313G. And probably in 2026, we're going to have a Masterpiece Arms or some precision rifle we're going to be talking about doing reviews on. So that's it for me. Please smash that like and subscribe button. And once again, I'm probably going to put the link or the video picture up somewhere up in here about the first interview we had with Red in the studio. It was a good one. I think it was like an hour and a half. So this kind of like part 2. But anyway, please smash that like and subscribe button at the bottom. We trying to be everywhere like space, baby. It's the Pop Culture 223 podcast. Game recognize game. We recognize you, so please recognize us. Peace.